pastoral
movie made
scene.
about a guy that made a terrible movie.
Because the movie's
Because
so
the movie
bad.
is that bad.
It's considered one of the worst movies ever. And he made more than one movie.
He did his own weird screening. It was like a whole thing.
You have to see it. Go watch The Room, then watch The Disaster Artist, and you'll understand.
Yeah.
In that order.
It's funny.
Yes.
All right.
Because you have to first suffer in order to appreciate the artistry.
Yeah, what you want me to do? You chose not to sit in that chair.
Because you can't disturb the cat, but I wanted him to go see me.
There's a cat in this room.
I know.
Somewhere there's a
There
cat in
is.
this room.
See if you can find the cat.
See if you can
Don't-
spot the 5 different
Don't fuck
differences.
with him. Oh, why?
Here.
Why?
Because
We found
I
the
can
cat.
gather him right here, and he's perfectly happy.
Is he purring?
Not yet.
He
We can
will.
work on that.
And just
I don't have a boob shelf today, though, so I don't know.
Come here, kitty.
There we go.
Yeah, come to me. I hold you all
That cat's
the
gonna
whole
get
time.
bored and then claw you up.
I mean, he's going to do that anyways.
He's got, no.
He's got little needle claws.
Yeah. Hey, man. Into every life, a little rain must fall.
You guys act like I have a problem with a
Is
cat
that
tracking
priestly
me.
advice?
That is
look
my
at-
that
you
is my
climber.
priestly
Are
advice
you a
for
climber?
until
You
we
are.
do this.
He's like, I really don't want to be held by the person who's way too excited to touch me.
He just doesn't like being held.
You're so
Because I cannot be contained, he says. I'm
These
a
people
force
won't
of
stop
nature.
putting their hands on him. He's fucking tired of it, I imagine.
I mean, I feel that,
Oh, I love you.
but
And right back to sleep.
Well, yeah.
well, no. First, he has to lick some unmentionable part of his body because he's an animal, and that's how they roll.
You can say butthole.
I also
Oh,
lick
I
parts
did
of
not
me.
mean butthole though. Like, there's way more
That's
parts of
totally
this cat's
not what I
anatomy that he can like get all up into. Which,
He's
I
not
mean,
even doing- he's just
if
touching
if
his legs and
I
it-
had like the
Alright.
prowess,
I love cats
I'm
more
gonna
than
edit out the
people.
part where this microphone just fucking fell off the gimbal.
All right, let's roll some Force of Destiny.
all right, well,
Damn.
pass me that.
One dark side.
One
Of
dark
course, because
side.
we have the cheating die that we still haven't replaced. One light side point.
Yeah, how are you complaining? You're 50-50 right now.
Two dark side. Get fucked. Got him.
Yeah, that's how.
It's gonna be a
I'm
fun
playing.
session for me.
You never used them.
I might.
Ah!
Maybe I'm saving them.
Sorry, my
I don't think they
usual
roll over.
chaotic neutral did not.
I already rolled.
well,
I know. I
there
was
you
just
go.
giving it back to you.
All right.
We have 5.
Where would we like to start today? Who would like to go first?
The
Let's
year
see.
is 2072.
Oh Jesus, we jumped forward a whole fucking bunch. Cause you know what? Why not?
Teach you a harsh lesson about asking that question.
You know what? I'd roll with it.
Deal with it,
Oh
sucker.
boy. Sven is still alive.
Yeah. You act like I haven't prepared like a
Inexplicably.
cyberpunk samurai setting already
Yes.
Okay.
as the motorcycle cavalry ride.
Can we do a quick recap for our friends at home?
Yes.
And also the friends of us
Yeah.
who like, maybe
I think
haven't
you went to
watched this in a
dinner.
while.
Having some state-based memory issues.
with what's her
Yeah.
face?
Yeah, the general is going to be my wife.
Yes.
I
your,
mean,
your new waifu.
the general.
Oh, it's just
No
like
big
is
deal.
this like a canon thing you're trying to get?
Oh,
with
it
General?
is super happening. If I am in a game, just assume that I'm gay. If I'm in anywhere in
No,
any sort
I'm
of
I mean, in
just
fair-
saying,
it-
the general
this game
was
has
your
been
actual choice.
An equal opportunity of people
character-
hitting on you left and right.
That's true.
I mean, no, yeah.
Again,
Makuro's just like she is breaking in that attention.
Sometimes
Yeah.
just to antagonize you.
Yeah, apparently. She's just like, deep sigh. Here comes this idiot again. It's great. Works out. Hey, man. As long as, and then now I have a super job advancement there. I learned that the spiritual advisor to the Lord was mysteriously murdered. And
Murder.
I have assumed his position, which is...
Man, if I didn't know you, I would be like, shit, she just murdered that guy.
Yeah, no, I think Makuro is also currently panicking about this exact situation where she's like, fuck, shit, I don't know, man. Was not prepared for this, and now I have to go... Because they don't know that we're friends, right?
Not really. No one knows that we have any of us have any deep connection at all.
No, I think I admitted to a connection if I didn't admit to, like, a friendly
I'm agreeing with you guys.
Yeah, like we haven't actually been like, oh yeah, we're bro. Like we don't.
No, I said that we investigated the murder together, if I'm remembering correctly. That, like, we were part of that mission, but...
Anybody else got anything they want to add before we start?
I kicked Sui Kokujin's ass
That is factually incorrect.
That
What
is
else happened?
Blatantly incorrect.
He
actually.
dueled Suikokujin in like practice, and like Suikokujin just
Got
made a
smoked.
fool of him.
Yeah.
Like
Okay,
just bopped him once on the head and was like, "I'm done."
Took
Yeah, I
him
wasn't actually
to
here for the
full
session where you
school.
people murdered my whole family.
Suikoku
So
hit
Yeah.
me one time on the head and then bitched out.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
How did we end that dinner with the one guy I was
Bitch.
having dinner with him being the translator? How'd that end?
He
How would
went
you like it to
home.
end? We
Well,
we never did finish
ooh,
that.
Yeah.
Well, he left, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
what are we
exactly.
supposed to
Flashback
do?
too.
Like, what the fuck? How are we supposed to go about doing it? Like, how are we supposed to? He was the translator
Did
somehow.
you?
Wait, when
Bone
did I
the-
leave? I feel like we just faded to black on that one.
We did a little
We did,
bit.
like, we
did
didn't
wait?
actually
Did you
finish.
stick around for the entire interaction?
What's,
What did you get up to?
We had just actually got done eating, and we're going outside, and that's where we stopped for the last.
Is that buttoned up
In the garden.
exterior?
What's your discipline?
what?
What's your discipline?
Wait, did he roofie her? 'Cause
No,
we're gonna okay.
that was just the relevant defensive social stat.
Against seduction.
It's I won.
Got him.
Oh boy.
One purple?
You know what? I'm giving him some black die for the language disadvantage.
Wait, no.
He's trying
Would
to
you
hit
have
on her.
helped out?
He's
That's
speaking
weird.
universal language.
But I don't think you would have helped out. Would you? Would you have even?
No, this
known
is the role to see
language?
what happened that night.
Oh, fuck. Oh, I blanked too.
All right, well, nothing happened.
Not a goddamn thing.
That is correct.
So he tried to, and you were like, "I'm not."
Yeah, well, he couldn't overcome the language barrier.
No parlez-vous.
Yeah, he couldn't like hit on her. 'cause
I mean, he tried,
yeah, but he had no idea. Like, you can't hit on someone when they have zero.
but to be fair, you also have no concept of what he was trying to do either.
But that's my point. Like,
Yeah.
you can't accurately hit on somebody. This is not talk dirty to me. Like, there's no
In the,
words
I
here that they know.
mean, in the words of Ursula, that's all about that body language.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure he.
Yeah, but that's real hard to do when you're sitting at a table.
Yes, I mean,
You're doing it right now.
yeah, like I'm doing it. At
I
the table,
guarantee
but I was
you-
like, if I made eye contact,
I guarantee you, out of the period and the culture, he wasn't doing it either. Like, it's not.
Yeah, it's very hard to do that when you're wearing a three-piece suit with a bowler hat.
picture them. Oh, please, bitch,
Ugh.
please, do not issue a challenge like that
That's
to
a new,
me.
new look
She's
for
gonna
Sven.
she's gonna show up next week.
Bowler hat, three-piece suit, no sleeves.
That's what. Oh,
Oh.
I flexed and the sleeves fell off style, where it's just like frayed edges.
I want him to have obviously cut it with scissors.
Yeah.
Oh,
One
actually,
of
it's
the
just
two.
uneven and jagged.
Yeah.
Oh God.
The only
Do you
cutting
think
tool I
that I
have
would
is
let
a-
him out?
Obviously
of the
did it at
house
home.
with that?
Well, the only cutting tool I have is a boot knife and a katana. So like,
So even worse. Yeah.
So yeah, your night ended uneventfully.
Wah
I'm
wah.
sorry for your loss.
I mean, you didn't you can go back and try if you're trying to swerve on this dude, but
Oh yeah, were you trying to swerve on this dude, or you're like fixing to
Well, if you were, he rolled
make
poorly. Which is the
feats
least sexy
for
thing you can
children's
do.
stockings?
What?
Make feats for children's stockings.
Okay, well here's back to the topic. If he left partway through dinner,
Which apparently I did.
yeah.
To go.
I do have a
assault
memory
your
that you did leave
passed out friend.
at a certain point.
I don't think he did. Like,
Not assault.
the session that I missed the last session where all this happened, so obviously it's not like he can't not play because I'm not here to continue the scenario.
Well,
But
more to the point, the role covered anything that might have happened. You could obviously go meet with this guy again.
okay, so basically we had dinner, we talked for a little
Right.
while. He left. We
The
were
role
probably
signifies his attempt to get you into bed. That does not signify any of the personal feelings or
Yeah.
how you two view each other.
There. Yeah, I understand that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So basically we were just kind of awkward with each other for a little while, not knowing what each other said, and then just decided to call
Yeah,
it a
exactly. You realized both of you realized that it was too difficult to try to communicate non-verbally,
night. Yeah.
to express deeper things than, hey, look at that.
Yeah.
So,
That's the thing.
yeah.
Nice
There
shirt.
is. Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, the general with you got wild success. Triumphed.
Ow. Yeah.
Okay. Just because I missed it, did the general come on to you, or did you
Yeah,
roll-
you can
did you
paint that
initiate
scene.
I
shit?
mean, no, I feel like, yeah, I feel like
He's-
the
understand-
general was like,
This is the morning after she found out that she was going to be the spiritual advisor, i.e. your father was dead.
wait, so are we in, we're now actually doing the RPG? I don't remember, leaping forward in time.
No, I'm
last
just
time.
explaining what happened, your circumstance with the general.
Yes.
So she goes to the general's house because she has an open invitation. She wants to figure out what her new duties are going to be involved.
Yeah.
And you can take it from here. I've set the stage for you.
Oh, you little shit. All right. Wait. So I've just arrived at the gates. Like, I do have an open invitation from the general.
No, I'm just
but,
for the
like,
recap purposes. Yeah, you have a. So you arrived. You were asking her questions, and then she invited her out to like view her like little private lake out behind her house.
the pond again?
Yeah.
Is that where we ended?
That's where we ended.
And this time I wasn't there
Correct.
because he went out to that pond with her previously. Sven was there.
Yeah, you were in the fucking pond. In
Correct.
fact.
Yeah, don't you
With
remember at
your
the
new
end of
friend.
the conversation she invited you out for like a walk, and then you two sat on the bench together.
Yeah, I don't remember like the last lines of dialogue. Hit me up, bud.
Oh, well, the dialogue was unimportant. The physical contact was important.
All right, I'm just gonna let her make the first move. She's way higher up on that social hierarchy, so I don't have to
She's
do dick
like
shit
yeah, like
right now, bud.
that. We'll see what happens next time you two interact.
Dino nah, being
All right.
Right now, we got to deal with you
Then we're
waking up
Yeah,
Yeah, all right. So I guess
to
apparently we're
an
waiting.
empty house,
that's fine.
which is very odd for you. There's like no servants, no people, nothing.
Yeah, no parent, no, obviously no family.
Again, very odd. Like they should be here.
Yikes.
We're gonna have an
Wait.
Uchiha moment just so we're all aware.
Oh yeah. Oh man,
you
are
talking
you gonna
about
go
anime?
all
Yeah, I am.
I don't know
that
about anime.
Animu? What's his name? No, he's the one that killed his whole
Sasuke?
family.
That-
Sasuke. Yeah, that's
Sasuke's the
one.
son.
The emo teenager.
Are you guys talking about Naruto?
Yes, we are.
Naruto.
Naruto,
Yeah, nailed it.
So yeah, you wake up alone in your family quarters.
All right.
how
Obviously,
you
I'm gonna look
pronounce
around.
Probably
Investigate. No
Nagotali,
one's
yeah.
clearly there.
No one's there, not even the servants.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get dressed and go to like court and try to find out where the fuck my family is.
Ooh.
When you walk into court,
file a missing
once people realize you're there, everybody kind of keeps away from you. They're like, "Ooh, yeah, oof."
What?
I don't really know how to react here. Like, you get some condolences from people. Like, you clearly have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about?
And then the Lord's gonna convene like a private meeting of the council.
Oh, so not
Well,
me.
this is going to be
You're invited.
deeply
Oh
uncomfortable.
yeah, I would say I'm clearly not really in the council, but
Yeah, you're
that's-
invited.
That's gonna raise a flag.
Also, your father's not there, which is kind of weird because like this
Yeah.
is an official meeting. You're there.
Yeah. Can I bring Sven on as my servant to like?
Why?
I'm feeling,
He has to wait outside
I'm
with the rest of
feeling
the servants.
Poorly this morning. If I could have someone to bring me refreshments.
Oh, they've
throughout
got
the
people for
meeting.
that.
Fuck. All
so
right.
you go to the council meeting and guarding the door is Sven, just like as confused as you are.
No, you have to wait outside with the rest of the servants.
Okay.
No.
But your friend is there.
Yeah.
Oh, what's his face? The guy who I made up for you.
Yeah, the guy we go fishing with. I think
Yeah.
that was his name.
Wait. Yeah, you wrote down his
Yeah.
name. Who's your buddy?
It's not Akasumitsu. That's a play
No, that's
director.
the director.
We have it on here, God.
Todo Nobuno is the evil vizier. I have like literally every name.
No.
Masamura was a sweet sword
It was
guy.
something like Kenichi or Kensuke, or it was something.
It's Kanigawa. Nailed it.
Yes, that's correct.
My old buddy at Kanigawa.
Can you like cycle through all of the names that you just said before you like click on to his actual name? Where you're like, nope, nope,
We'll call him Lefty.
yes,
Old Lefty.
I don't know if you've noticed, but Sven
Bud.
most,
Yep.
Sven
My
mostly calls
buddy.
people,
Sport.
hey man.
Chief.
Yeah, Chief. His name's Chief.
Ever since a customer like called me Chief, that's who I am now. He
You look like a
certainly
chief.
Did not mean it like that, but that's where we're
Thanks,
at.
Chief. And you're just like, all right, I assume the responsibility.
all right.
I am Chief of Bodos.
Yeah, bud. I am Chief.
So yeah, he's there, so you can hang out with him.
Cool.
But yeah, so the meeting. It begins. It's the Lord. Who else is in this meeting? The General, obviously. You.
Yeah, shit hath hitteth the
Um,
fan.
the number 2 Todo Nobuna's there.
I don't trust that little shit far as I can throw him.
The Admiral's there. Amuro Tanabe. The Imperial Diplomat
Oh shit, it's Shoji. That's the guy.
is there,
Shoji.
whom you haven't
Yeah.
met before, but he's an
I
elf.
thought it was on the side somewhere.
And there's also a strange orc you've never seen before. Who is there?
Me?
Well, you two who are in this
Oh.
room.
It's not the Ronin orc.
No.
is it? Obviously, 'cause we were all
This
there
is a
at
very
the end.
fancy
He's at
orc.
my house. Should I go up and introduce myself? That
To who?
this new person that I've never met.
Well, there's two people you've never met in the room. There's the orc and the Imperial Advisor.
All right,
who's
who's
an elf?
closest? I'll go to the Imperial Advisor because I know his status or her status.
It's a dude. He will introduce himself as whatever I named him. Minawara Tokasi. He's an elf.
Gotcha. And is this like a new hire? Would I have like
No,
recognized the
remember
last one?
like last session I said the Imperial delegates have come to town. They nailed the news to the. Yeah, this is that guy.
Right. Oh, I see.
Yes. So he's like just come from the capital to spend like a year here before, he goes back.
Yikes.
Yeah. He's
Big time yikes.
yeah, he's like 8 feet tall. He's missing both his eyes.
Wait, what? He's an elf?
Yeah.
That's 8 feet tall?
Yeah.
What the fuck kind of like...
Is he like a
How
bulky
elf
elf, or is he like
is
slender
he?
scarecrow 8 foot tall?
Slender scarecrow 8 foot
Oh,
tall.
that's fucking weird.
So he is haunting is what
Again,
I'm
no eyes.
gathering.
He has like a
A
sash,
visor,
yeah,
yeah.
tied around his eyes. Like he had eyes. It's not like he was born without. They just got removed.
yeah, that's even more alarming.
Like I said, haunting.
Yeah, and he's just this whole like
Is
face is
old.
just like a mask of scars.
Also,
owed?
no mouth or hair. So,
No.
just,
He's just slender.
He has mouth and
just
hair.
like-
He's older. Like he's not the Lord old, but like he's been around. He's not like
He's-
young.
Well, I just meant, like, are we
Silence.
talking like
He's got gray
like
hairs,
a
yeah.
creepy old man, like an old man looking old? Or is
He's
he just kinda, like,
older man.
middle-aged?
so do they
He's
have,
got salt and pepper hair.
Do they have 10-foot
Alright.
tall doorways in this castle? Or
Apparently
is
not.
Is he having to duck under? 'Cause
Yes.
that would super make
He's
it
a
less
crazy
dignified.
anomaly. Like
It's like crouching under
Somehow
things.
is it like a weird, almost endearing sort of like he has to duck under them, or is it like somehow
He
like
bends.
creeps under them where it's still creepy?
his servant notifies him of when there are doorways
And he ducks.
because he is blind.
Well, that's
And then he
good,
ducks.
I guess.
I thought you were gonna say his servant adjusts the size of the doorway.
Yeah, that's
He-
sort of what I was
he
assuming
kinda
as well.
bows. He like kind of bows and like hunches a little bit to get in the doorways. And he comes
Gotcha.
back
Yeah, I
up.
was talking about the literal motion because this dude sounds spooky as fuck.
He bends over
Yeah.
All right,
and like he has to
well,
like feel with his hand.
Yeah,
and
he
then
like
does
he like
that.
crouches at the knees, lowers, and just kind of.
It makes him sound like less of a cryptid, which, like, not gonna lie, a little bit of a regret about that. But you know what? Sometimes needs must.
Okay, so you're gonna walk up to him.
Yeah.
So you want to talk to him?
Yeah. Of
All right.
course.
So he introduces himself as Minawara Takazi.
Give him the tickles.
He
Yeah, what everyone.
he
loves.
politely asks you
like
for
the
your name.
shittiest sim. I am Makuro Ime. I'm the new spiritual advisor to the Lord here.
Am
Am I close enough to hear that conversation?
Do you want to be?
I think I'm trying to make eyes at you because we haven't had the chance to make contact until now where I'm like, here's what is going. Because you're ostensibly my friend here.
Yeah, and this is
I
like
wanna help
before
you
the
out.
meeting is convened. Like the
Yeah.
Lord isn't in the room yet.
So this is a
This
good
is
opportunity
when,
for
like-
me to loudly introduce myself
Yeah.
so you get a hint of maybe what is going on.
Yeah. Okay. So
So yeah, you now know that there's a new spiritual advisor to the Lord.
suddenly, really on guard, like super.
Yeah, there's a lot of alarm bells in your mind right now.
Yeah, confused but mad. Like something about it. I'm starting to get a little upset. Nothing shows on the face though, other than like a lean back, kind of like, what the fuck am I in?
So Tokazi's gonna be like, "Tell me about yourself. You are a new addition to the council."
Yes, I am a former shrine maiden priestess, and I was recently, very recently, as of last night, in fact, elevated to this honored, venerated position upon the unfortunate death of the former spiritual advisor.
Well, clearly you must have caught somebody's attention.
I beseech the gods to grant me fortune and favor in this new endeavor.
That sounds most appropriate.
I just treading that fucking appropriate line. Like,
Yeah, as you should
I
be.
want to communicate as much as humanly possible. Yeah. That's sort of like and what have you what is your mission here? I understand that you've come from the capital.
Yes, I'm to be the ambassador for a year. Plus, I also bring the news.
Is the emperor in good health?
As far as I know, I'm not fortunate enough to see him.
Ah.
I merely work for one of his cabinet members.
I was gonna laugh like. So not
Yikes.
14.
Yeah, I know. Act like he hasn't heard that joke before.
That was out of character laughing. Obviously, my character is
Oh,
so amused right now.
No, she's probably deeply emotionally devastated.
Yeah, I'm a little
but-
pissed off at the moment.
Yikes, bud. Yeah, I don't know where else to take this conversation other. Thank you very much for joining us here. I will be glad to hear of news from the capital later during the meeting. I'm afraid our town is a little bit out of touch with imperial news.
I really hope that first part was in character. Just I don't know where else to take this conversation.
Yikes! That's her
doesn't-
internal monologue is just like, fuck.
That doesn't
fuck,
happen as much.
okay.
That doesn't happen enough in real life where you're just like, I don't know what to say to you.
You should try it, though. It's liberating.
People need to be more honest about that.
What do you have the list of all the cabinet members?
You gotta start doing
Yeah, we'll get it at break.
Just,
But yes,
uh-uh.
who do you want to know about?
I just want to remember their names.
Oh, okay. I'll get it for you in a minute.
Okay.
So the Lord's gonna summon you to his private chambers.
That seems appropriate.
He's gonna invite you to sit down for some tea. He's like, "Look, I have some unfortunate news for you, as I'm sure you must have already surmised. We found your father murdered last night
Where?
in the streets near the slums.
Where's everyone else?
Unfortunately, they were with him at the time and thus found dead as well.
Were they in uniform?
They were in their normal clothing.
Who could have known to ambush all of us?
We don't know.
And?
We're investigating. That's unfortunately all I can tell you.
Pissed. Like, who the
I'm
fuck else?
sorry
is
for
there
your
to
loss.
Investigate for this shit.
But this does beg the question, though. Somebody has to replace your father's position. Now, I've chosen somebody for his day job, but you're going to continue in his job as my intelligence operative.
Bless you.
And the one consolation that I have for you is that you also are going to receive a new appointment. You're going to be the head of my fleets now.
And, like, mentally, like, the fuck does that matter? Like, pissed
I mean, that puts you
off.
as the, number 3
You're-
or 4 now in the chain of command.
Still, though, like,
Yeah.
super pissed off.
I mean,
like,
I don't blame you.
Hey, how is
consolation is that?
how's the emperor looking these days?
Who are you asking?
Just in general, I will
boss.
have been in the room with.
You mean the Lord?
Emperor. Yeah, the Lord. Oh fuck, yeah, the Lord.
The Lord's looking great.
How old is the Lord looking these days?
Like a man at 65.
So yeah, he is still. Is he still looking younger and younger? Or
No,
he seems
he's
to have
kind of plateaued out, but he's active. Where he hasn't been for a long time.
Interesting. All right. Sorry. Continue. I just
Um,
hadn't super thought about that. I'm really sorry.
I hope that
about
I can-
Your entire family dying.
How like grief-stricken does the Lord look? Like, does he actually look like? is
I'm
this, like-
conveying to you the accurate amount of grief that he is.
So to him, this like literally means nothing kind of behavior.
Yeah.
All right,
Yikes.
He's pouring tea for you, just going about his business.
all right. So I'm like super offended by all this. Then
Yeah. If you have any questions, you may ask of it now before we begin the meeting.
what evidence was found?
None. They were just found murdered.
No weapon idea, guns, knives.
No. Guns.
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 Do we have any idea what time?
Sometime during the night.
Do you know why they were all out? It's very
I do
rare
not.
for both
He
branches
was
to
not-
travel along.
He was not going anywhere on my orders. But I had heard he was last seen at the Westerners compound.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You might begin your investigation there.
All right.
Oh, it's super not in the Westerners' best interest to stir shit up, but it's super oh man,
I'm gonna fucking kill everybody. Like, let's be totally clear. At this point, everyone dies. Like, just so we're all aware of the situation, everybody dies.
Is there anything else you want to ask the Lord?
That's what I'm talking
When-
about right there.
when are the
Fucking
services?
family. Been waiting for this shit.
Oh, when
Just
are the
the
services
fucking
for? Tomorrow.
Where I'm like,
All right.
And we will have the new spiritual advisor officiate them.
of course, I would.
All right.
Honored
So you may make whatever
to
arrangements
serve.
with her that you see fit. I, of course, will be in attendance.
Okay. I'm honestly just gonna kind of bow and just get up and leave. Like, I'm so
Yep.
enraged at the moment.
All right, so he convenes the meeting to order. first order of business is we have new appointments to the council in light of the recent murders. We have a new spiritual advisor, and what's his face? Omura Tanabe gets fired as admiral, and you're now appointed to admiral,
Holy shit.
even though you've like never seen a ship before in like combat.
All right.
Omura like he gets up like he's got his face together. He like gets up, bows, and leaves.
Oh, fuck. Well, I guess we should probably go visit him at some point, because I imagine he has some feelings about some stuff.
And the rest of the meeting is, I believe, inconsequential. We learned about. You guys already know about the news. Well, you guys know about the news. You find out about the news that there was a battle in the north in Hokkaido between the last members of the shogunate and the emperor's forces. The shogunate had tried to make a independent government from the emperor, but the emperor's forces killed them all.
Yeah, no go well.
Yeah. And the last piece of business is the imperial ambassador will get up and he will deliver a speech where he tells the convened council that he's excited to be here. He's this guy doesn't really give a lot of information about himself, but he closes with the point that like the emperor is aware that there are some members here from this province who were at that battle and were not on the right side. Yikes. So he's here to investigate like the loyalties of everybody here to make sure that everybody's towing the emperor to line.
Extra cup of fuck.
Yeah, so you may get summoned to the imperial embassy for questioning, and that he like produces like the writs and whatnot from the cabinet that say he's got the authority to do this. And he's gonna get.
I have to go.
No. He's saying that to everybody.
Oh, I was like,
No.
I haven't even been admiral for like 2 minutes.
He's saying that to everybody in the room.
You're an inside agent.
What he's saying is that the emperor's aware that samurai from this province were on the wrong side of that battle, so they need to come here and investigate how far the conspiracy goes.
Oh, in Hokkaido.
Yes.
That's like way far to the north, right?
Yes, Hokkaido is way far, which means
like tippy top.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Which means that clearly they weren't there by accident.
Yikes.
Yeah, and it's it was the two brothers from the Arisaka family, which is like a small minor bannerman house to the local lord.
Gotcha.
All right, and that's the end of the new meeting.
All right. Do we want to take our quick break?
Yeah, we can. I can get you that sheet.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's 5
yes.
10, so it'll be short.
Because I want to know who to talk to about various.
All right, we ready?
Nobody's taking an Uber to Burger King and back. That's not a thing that happens.
Oh.
Okay, so
You've never been that drunk, huh?
I've been more drunk than that, and I still won't take an Uber to fucking Burger King. I will do parkour to Burger King before I take an Uber.
That's smart. No, you wander back home from Burger King trying to find your other shoe, and it works out fine, and everybody's fine.
I'd love him so much.
That sounds right.
I would take him home. He would love my do it again.
Not Burger King, though. No, I'd take an Uber to something else.
Burger King
Cookout,
Hot take.
actually.
Burger King sucks.
Burger King's delicious.
Oh my god.
a couple hours have passed since the meeting.
This RPG sponsored by McDonald's.
This is our RPG sponsored by enemies of Burger King.
What is everybody doing?
I'm gonna go fucking find Sven.
You walk outside. the
Okay.
room. Sven is
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Sven is where he always is at this
Alright.
time of day.
Well, I'm just gonna say Sven, we're going.
Okay. Do I need to? Never mind. I just bring my guns and weapons.
Everything. Fucking everything.
All right, where would you like to go to?
Well, I'm going back to my rooms to change into not obviously ninja wear. It's a little fucking bold, but just
Your
Definitely,
street clothes, kind
You,
of.
less than street clothes. Like they're definitely pants. Like it looks more male than anything else.
You
Like,
find
male
that
clothes.
there are a bunch of servants moving your stuff out.
No. Oh, to your new
Yeah.
quarters. You do have. A new
You now have a
position.
house as befitting your position, so you no longer have to live in the castle.
Sweet.
Excellent. Either way, I'm gonna grab some like male clothing,
Sure.
and we're gonna head to the Westerners compound.
All right then.
Fucking question.
You arrive and they're letting people in. Like it's not. The gates are open.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't hesitating.
The urge to finesse was so high just then. Just to
What?
lean over and be like, so listen, I am living servant with her. Whatever servants' quarters there are, I'll just be moving in there.
You could.
I would like off
Then
this
I'll do that
goddamn
then.
boat,
Yeah.
please.
You can. Like it's up to her. It's her house. You could have whoever
How
you want
big
living
is
there.
this house?
Very big.
All
Again,
right.
you're like the number 3 in the organization now.
All right. Well, that'll be a mistake later on.
Nailed it.
But yeah, Sven and fucking Hamish can live there. I don't give a fuck.
All right.
All right, but yeah, we're going to the Westerners compound. I don't necessarily know like who's in charge of the compound or if there's.
Well, there's 3 different embassies there. There's the British embassy, the German embassy, and the French
Which
embassy.
is the closest.
They go in order of size. The French is the largest
All right, so we're going to the French
physically,
embassy.
and then the German, and then the British.
All right, we're going to the French embassy.
Okay, you get to the French embassy. You're
The Americans have like a tent that's put up in the back of the British embassy's
we
like,
don't have an embassy here,
quarters.
Yeah, America didn't give a shit.
and neither does the Spanish or the Russians.
America didn't give a shit.
1850 whatever is when America started giving a shit.
Yeah, no, you could find Americans around here, but
Just not there.
The 3 powers in this town are France, England, and Germany.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we're not one of the important cities enough for America to
Yeah,
show
if you
up.
went to Tokyo,
That
you'd find an
seems
American
right,
embassy.
Actually, yeah, that totally clicks with what we've got.
Oh, yeah, well then we go to the French embassy.
All right, you enter like it's a giant like Victorian style, building.
Gross.
There's a grand staircase. They seem to be decorating it for like some sort of a party.
What holiday are we missing on the western side of things? What's
Or is it just for a
today's
party?
date?
Well, you gotta ask people to find out. What's today's date? I don't know. Whatever you want it to be. It's in the spring.
Okay.
All right, well I'm gonna look at Sven and be like, "Can you speak French?"
we roll to see if Sven speaks French.
No, I'll just use my once per session power to flip over a dark side point to light and then flip it back. I do speak French a little bit.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
There's like a guy sitting behind a desk who's like
I mean, I'm
the
sure there's
secretary.
a translator here
You
somewhere.
gotta be a
I mean, yeah.
polyglot.
It's probably a safe bet.
Yeah. Either way, just making sure.
There's a guy sitting behind a desk who's the secretary who is like looking at you, and then there's people going about decorating the place, like putting up garlands of flowers everywhere.
I'm just like, who is in charge here?
Are you talking to the guy behind the
Yeah,
desk?
yeah.
Well, that would be the ambassador. He also speaks Japanese.
Yeah. Excellent.
Fine. Like not fluently, but like much
Yeah,
better
so-
than Sven.
This will be easy then. I would like to see the ambassador
Oh, when would be convenient for you?
as soon as possible.
Now.
Right at this exact moment.
He's like,
Ideally now.
I can fit you in like a week from today at 3 p.m.
I'm the admiral from the castle. This is a very pressing matter.
Yes, we're aware, but that is the first time he has availability.
Yoicks.
Unless you wish to attend the party, in which case then you could see him.
Fine.
Okay.
All right. So, do we need an invitation for the party?
I mean, he's gonna write you an invitation.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, then there we go.
You're like a dignitary and you're a member of the council. Like it's implied you would have
Do I get to bring a guest?
a +1. Yeah, he would
Hell
write you a +1 on the
yes.
assumption you have a husband.
Yeah.
Surprise.
I don't, but surprise! It's fucking Sven.
Wouldn't even be the first time.
All right. Yeah. Then I guess we'll leave. Head to the next one.
Sven, you can, since you can understand French, you can read that the invitation's for a debutante ball.
Sure.
You can choose to do with that information whatever you wish.
Nothing. It's got nothing to do with it.
All right.
Kidding
Oh,
me?
I'm
A bunch
going.
of girls coming out?
For
Why are
sure.
there fucking girls here?
They have families here.
Like, okay, yeah. A bunch of young girls coming out into society. There you go.
Excellent. All right.
Yeah, you're coming.
Is there anybody else you want
now?
to visit while we're here?
I'm going to look at him and ask
And
if
all
he
of a
if
sudden,
any time recently
Sven
he had
bursts
seen
into ecstasy.
I didn't know you had that power. Ninjas could do
Mizuko
that.
Chikage.
Ninjas are just like top
Okay.
level.
Oh, yeah. He like
It's
he
the
looks in
real
his book
secret
and
of
he's
it
like,
all.
Look at
yes,
me. Look at me in my
last
eye.
night
You're coming.
at about 6 p.m.
Okay.
Oh God! Not
He stayed for dinner.
Pants. I just had them blonde.
They're my only pants.
Did he leave at 6?
No.
No,
Those
he
are
left
my
at about
only
9:30
pants.
Okay.
with the rest of his family.
All right.
I take that back. He says the rest of his entourage, not family,
Yeah, but he wouldn't know that.
or the rest of his entourage.
All right, good to know. All right, we're going to leave and go to the next one.
That next one, and
On the way, I'm going to look at Sven and be like, we're going to find out who murdered my family, and then they're all going to die.
All right.
There's no fucking... Nah.
Sven is along for the ride.
so the next largest one size is the German embassy.
All right, to the Germans then.
You go in the German embassy, and it's not quite as lavish. It's still very European, but it's
Yeah.
more functional.
Yeah, because they're not friends.
because they're
They're also
Germans,
not putting
bud.
up like decorations, but like you see a lot of people like preparing to like go across the courtyard to the party.
Oh, so they're also going to go to the...
Yeah, it's like a whole.
Okay, so it's going to
You see a lot of people milling about getting ready for the party.
All right. It's
It's not just a
hosting
French. The French are just hosting it
Oh,
because they have the
okay.
largest facility.
it. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah,
Oh,
and because they're French, and it's a French word.
Yes,
so.
because they're French.
So you enter the same thing. There's a guy who's like the like a secretary or whatever for the ambassador.
Yeah, first thing I'm going to ask him is, if he had he had seen Mizuko Shikage anytime.
Not recently.
Okay, so most likely he just went to the French, but all right. And I'm going to ask if there's at any point where the German ambassador would be available.
Right now, if you want.
All right, let's go.
All right. So I gotta remember the German ambassador's name.
Somebody's not fucking busy.
So the German ambassador is Wilhelm von Luck. He is I think he's a human.
Got sharp
Do you know
little
German?
teeth, my dude.
Yes, he's a
Any
human.
light side points left?
I don't know.
No.
Hey.
Yeah, I know German.
I mean, I just kind of assume.
German, English, Czech.
Are you
Japanese.
the
French.
question is, are you a polyglot? Just are you a polyglot? And then yes. Do you
Seriously,
know
though,
that
like, at
that
this point-
language fucking maybe
I know, that's what I mean, like,
the-
at
I mean, I know ancient Sumerian, and that's pretty close.
the like introductory course that's offered on Duolingo. I at least got that shit.
Chio just assumes Sven is a
Biblioteca,
master,
let's
is like a
fucking
jack
go.
of all
Donde está la
trades.
biblioteca?
Me llama T-Bone. Ahora ni discoteca.
Again, like I assume
Every
that Sven
time.
is like a jack of all trades, like not necessarily fully knowing the limits of what I'm asking him, but just in general.
So you walk into this guy's like office. It's like a library. He's got like a globe, like a drink stand. It's sort of like a normal Victorian. He's kind of a portly gentleman of like my height, and he's got like big mutton chops.
Hell yeah.
And he's wearing like a suit.
All right.
And the secretary follows you guys in because he does not speak Japanese.
Yeah. Bingo.
But the secretary is also going to be taking notes.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna ask, good afternoon.
good
I
afternoon.
assume it's not early.
Yeah.
morning
What
anymore.
what business does the local lord have with us specifically as it relates to the Navy? Has he reconsidered our offer on those naval contracts?
I'm unaware of those current situations at the moment.
You can see he deflates a little, like, oh.
No, my contracts.
As you know, or probably know, a member of the court and his entire family was slaughtered near here.
No, that's news to me. We obviously had nothing to do with it. He just assumes you're going to be here to blame him.
That's fair, honestly.
We're not here to place blame. We're simply no witnesses were found at the scene. We have no evidence as of late the culprits. We're simply asking anyone if they have seen Mizuko Shikage anytime recently.
Yes, I did last night.
Oh,
I had dinner with him and the French and British ambassadors.
Okay. What time did he leave?
About 9:30
Around 9:30.
with the rest of his entourage.
Yes.
Yeah,
What business did he have? You know, for what reason did he come?
He
You can ask personal questions.
he said he had information relating to a plot against the local lord.
No, fuck, dude. All right, that's chill.
Interest peaked.
We're just trying to get this cleared up so that we can go back to negotiating shipping contracts, because that is something we're interested in.
Why are the shipping contracts on the table? Because if so, we Germans could put together a very tempting offer for
And
you.
I'm sure you can, but until we can get this
I bet you would deliver those on
extremely
time.
serious and dangerous matter resolved, we're going to have to table that. But your assistance in this matter will be noted during those negotiations.
Very well.
My brain hurts. That's like the most talking I've ever done.
Sven is exhausted.
Sven is like, I need some sake.
I haven't.
Is there anything else you'd
gotten
like
a
to know?
fist fight in,
it's like my
in like
kryptonite.
12 hours.
Not
Yeah.
fighting is my kryptonite.
Concerning any plots against the lords, I mean, is there anyone specifically you can think of that would be obviously involved, or at the very least offended or concerned about his theory?
Well, he's spoken a great deal of vagaries, so we did not have any concrete information. But it seemed like he knew of a plot between somebody in the local court and somebody in our Westerner's compound who was trying to overthrow the Lord.
Tell him that you can give him special consideration for a contract if he gets a list of everyone who was there.
We can offer special consideration to the German embassy in a contract if I can get a list of all members that were at the dinner last night.
Well, I'm going to need more concrete information than that on what you're offering me. I.e., let's roll some dice!
Hell yeah! Wait, I
I
forgot
found the
that we
dice
were
roll.
doing
Yeah.
an RPG.
It's not. It's a collaborative story event.
Hell yeah, dude. You know that.
It's the diceless
I
RPG.
got
The
huge-
diceless, like, yeah,
huge
there is
penis
no,
right now.
there is no.
Right? Like, we haven't had to roll for anything yet.
That's what I'm about. If I can navigate a session without fucking rolling any dice.
No beautiful bean
Giganto.
footage. 9.
All right.
No rolling
What
them
would you like to roll
bones.
against him?
I mean, I'm not even necessarily at this point if I'm really even, like, deceiving him.
I was really hoping you're like, I don't want to actually roll dice.
Actually, fuck this.
I mean, I definitely don't want to roll dice, because I was just honestly being like,
You could charm him.
I mean, I'm a fucking admiral.
You could negotiate with him. I mean, those are options you could do that aren't.
I mean, I don't have
lying.
skills in them, but...
No, I'm just saying, like, if you wanted to socially interact with him without lying, those are applicable skills.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like, she's essentially not really lying. She's just like, I could, give preferential treatment. She's a fucking admiral now. Like, I
Correct.
could definitely put in a good word.
Well, I can roll
Preferential.
charm. I have 2 yellows in it, and then you can help me.
Alright, yeah, what are you going to charm him about?
What I just said, which is
Offering him a more
Well-
specific contract?
it's like, we want to work with you, but we have a fucking problem that you can help us with first.
Oh, you're rolling against 2 red.
True
Sweet.
shit.
All right, I'll take that blue die from you,
Yeah,
pretty please.
yeah, absolutely. I totally will help you with...
Any black dice?
Nope.
Good, because I have a fucking knack for this. I don't give a shit about your black dice.
That's fair.
All right,
a
definitely not
champ.
gonna
Let's
succeed.
do
but Let's
it.
go.
Hey, man. Heroes never say die.
No. Absolutely, 2 advantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Two advantage.
Okay.
So,
Not
you
bad.
you
But still,
don't
that was still like a solid wash. How the fuck did that
you
happen?
don't bamboozle him. Like he's like, I'm gonna need more specifics than that. But like, he will still give you the list of people at the event. Like,
Okay.
like he's getting the understanding that like somehow this is important to you specifically. So he's not trying to be hostile about it.
Yeah.
The people at the event of note were obviously the French ambassador, the German ambassador, the British ambassador, and your father. Although he doesn't know that he's your
Yeah.
father, but yeah, those were that was it. Like everybody else was dismissed from the room.
Okay, so it was literally, and including the family, like my family.
His entourage, yeah. They keep using that specific word.
Entourage? Did they
Yes.
call it a posse at
No.
any point?
Just an entourage.
Well, that's fucking disappointing, but whatever. All
Which you
right.
assume to mean you're the rest of your
Yeah,
family.
yeah, I'm well aware of that situation. Okay. Were there any suspicions or weird feelings?
I mean, it
to you
was
personally during
very
dinner?
weird that he called us here for this meeting and then didn't go into any specifics or offer any evidence. It's almost like he changed his mind at the last second.
Did anyone look nervous or concerned about the dinner when the conversation came up?
I mean, to be frank with you, anytime somebody from the castle comes to deal with us as of late, it's always a cause for concern.
yeah. But
Yikes.
when he brought up, a coup, a traitor, did anyone in the room look particularly shifty or uncomfortable?
I mean, we were all uncomfortable. That's a pretty hefty accusation, but I don't believe any of us did it.
I'm
I-
often.
If that's what you're
I
asking.
didn't necessarily
That's
mean
like
did
us
it, but
as
just
a
anyone who
community.
might have,
Oh, I can
visually-
tell you, we the Germans had nothing to do with it.
All right.
And as for the other two members of the room who you're inquiring about, they seem normal.
All right.
Stop trying to call me, you little shit. We're being friends.
So just attack him. Like, fine, he'll be okay.
No, I'm trying to teach him not to use his claws.
Is there anything,
Anyway,
Okay.
continue.
anything else you'd like to ask?
Is there anything else we'd like to ask?
I think we got as much as we're gonna get.
Yeah, and thank you for your time.
Yeah, no problem.
That list is pretty clutch. We can run those down.
Yeah, well,
See what's
it's
going on.
essentially the same.
Seems like your dad tried to brink rigs and got
Yeah.
murdered.
Yeah, we're gonna leave then. You said like when you said moving stuff out of the house, like it wasn't just my stuff, like it was everything in our quarters at the castle, like everything's getting moved out.
Yes.
Okay.
Does that mean that there are people in your shit that's maybe
Yeah.
like...
But they're people, I don't want to say people you know, but they're people you
Yeah,
recognize.
like worst
Yeah.
case scenario, we just keep asking questions and then they send people after.
And they also
us,
weren't, like-
and I'm there.
Yeah,
They weren't fucking with your shit either. Like all your furniture is designed to be moved in case of fire. Like you could just pick it up and carry it outside. So like
Yeah.
they were just carrying it wholesale, not like going through your drawers and stuff.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's good news.
I'm gonna tell you to go to the new residence and pick out your room and keep an eye on anyone poking around any particular stuff.
Do you have any
Um,
books that are like not books on the inside, like secret boxes?
Wait.
That's up to you.
I'm just asking you, like, would that be like historically speaking?
I'm not
would that
asking
be
for a
thing?
real reason. I'm just Sven is just curious.
I mean, yeah, that's something you could have if you wanted to.
I mean, well,
This
yeah,
is a minute
aside
detail
from-
that you can decide.
Yeah, like
Sure, turn to page 11 if you do.
yeah, we have.
Did you hear that
Cool.
Netflix got sued for that
Sven says
shit,
cool.
though?
And
That
like
doesn't
goes if
surprise
he
me.
wants to.
Well, just like real
Yeah,
quickly,
the
I'm just
choose
be
your
like,
own
if you see
adventure books
anything,
were
you
like-
know,
Man, nobody reads.
That's
ours, though.
Please, it is my father's.
You haven't
and any
put
stuff
out
that will be
shit
in the
in,
room
like,
with it will be
40
his,
years.
Possibly notes and clues. Make sure no one touches anything.
Okay.
Cool your jets, homie.
No,
Alright.
never could.
All right. Well, then
Apparently
I guess
they
I'm gonna go
can't
back to the
either.
castle and monitor anyone poking around my shit.
Nope,
the-
nothing untoward happens.
Yeah. Okay.
I take out a piece of paper for you to sign so that I can fucking show to people and actually get shit done.
Yeah. Like I'll give you a seal, a stamp, something.
All right, religious advisor. You've got a funeral / funerals to
Yikes.
plan.
I have no idea how to do that.
Well, like I said, the good news is you don't have to worry about the actual ceremony. You just have to arrange somebody to do the ceremony, essentially.
What's the name of the... He's not on here.
What an incredible creature.
The,
Sven knows how to do nothing except for beat ass and apparently speak 5 languages.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, you're like
Interesting
the WD-40 of the party.
Yeah.
You solve problems.
You do
Just like real
lubricate
life.
situations,
I do.
yes.
I do keep it wet.
Sven has been around. Sven has been around. Like that's why I assume he's a jack of all trades. Like I feel like no matter what I ask of him, he's like, I could probably figure that
Make
out.
it work. You want the what? The rocket ship? Let's do it.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we've got the closed fist and then what, the open path or whatever?
Open palm.
Open palm. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the open palm
house of
to
high
my
fives.
like.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So you see Otame,
This is
he's
a low 5 kind of congregation though.
he's repainting part of the shrine by himself as usual.
I know, old friend, that I'd be asking an awful lot of you, but I would hope that you could maybe arrange a state funeral for a important cabinet
He's just like
member.
up on a ladder, like painting. He's like, not the first time, won't be the last.
Thank you
Yep, no problem.
very much. I will begin to direct the various court members. What I guess how do traditions work for like when funerals are supposed to happen? Is it supposed to be like a next day kind of a thing? Is there like an immolation first? I don't know any of this shit.
Yeah, cremation is standard.
Okay.
He'll take care of like the ceremony itself. You guys will cremate the bodies beforehand, so that he will just get the ashes, and then they're put in like the family shrine.
Dope. All right, so I guess am I supposed to be arranging for that, or is the family the final?
You're supposed to arrange because it's a state funeral. You're supposed to arrange. Normally, the family would take care of it.
Gotcha. Am I arranging for the rest of the family as well? Because if so, I'm
Yes.
probably going to. Hey.
There's like 9 bodies you have to deal with.
I would imagine that I'm going to try and track you down.
4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I do have an aunt, so part of me has to wonder if she was with them during this.
Does she live in town?
She does live with the uncle. Like she's alive.
Then yeah, she's dead.
Well, but I'm just saying, like I can't think of a plausible reason for her to have gone with.
Maybe that's something you should investigate.
Yeah, like so that either way, that's
That
1,
is a
2,
loose
4, 5,
string
6,
you.
7. Yeah, there's 8 bodies.
Gio, so I guess after going and saying the funeral is going to happen at this shrine, I'm gonna go ahead and track you down.
Everyone's like, that's very appropriate. Like that's where traditionally where funerals are held. Like you haven't done anything weird yet.
Yeah, no.
Considering that the
of
other
course
place
not.
keeps their doors closed for 364 days a year.
Man, fuck those guys. All they do is raise dogs and open their doors 1 day a year.
For other people to fucking clean.
Yeah.
I heard they
no
were
thanks.
all 2D, like they're flat people.
Fucking ninjas.
They turn to the side, disappear.
You don't fuck with the flat monks; they'll chop you right in half.
Man. The flat fighting monks. Not
I
they
want
don't
that to be a thing
flatline,
in
they
some
are
story.
flat lines.
Flatline
I
too.
should have like ay.
Yeah, like I
Right,
said, I went
yeah.
back to the castle to monitor people moving my shit.
All right.
So you find her at the castle.
I wonder if I might confer with you as to the funerals for your family.
It's all standard.
Do you have any particular requests? Any pre-ceremonies?
Maybe where the family shrine is?
ceremonial, like, yeah.
Where the ashes are supposed to end up?
I mean, I imagine that the family shrine is going to either be part of like a graveyard that exists or in her house.
Right, but there are several graveyards. Like you
That's
need to
true,
know
Yeah. So as to your
wherever
family
you want it to
shrine,
be.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like,
Any
historically, like,
It's 50-50 on it's either in like the house
it's
or
probably honestly. I'm gonna say it's probably in the house because, like
or
I
in a
said,
graveyard.
her mother doesn't like her mom, so I imagine they
All
probably
right, yeah.
have a
So
shrine in the house.
it's in the house.
Yeah,
Alright.
which means it's gonna be moved to the new house.
Correct.
Are there any ceremonial objects or personal items that you would like cremated with your family? I know that this is a lot to absorb very suddenly, and I'm very sorry that we're doing this. I'm telling you now, I'm promising you that I had no knowledge of this before I was elevated to this position under such unfortunate circumstances.
Their situation was normal to everyone else. There's no reason for their funeral to be any different.
All right, I'm gonna do that shit then and arrange for some burnings and whatnot.
Okay. So you obviously their bodies are kept in like a warehouse where like the 8 of people could come and go, but they didn't take them to their village. Like they deserve more than that. So yeah,
They got five. All right.
but like they also like it's a dead body. You can't have it like in the castle.
This is
So-
true. It's very.
You could go to the warehouse down by the docks.
I'm gonna have so much shit in my like.
That's true. You just
realize
inherited
I had
like an
8
entire
family.
family's
That's what I mean.
worth of
Aunt,
shit.
uncle, 2 cousins, 3 brothers.
Yeah,
A dad. Like
and
I
you moved
have,
into a house now that can
Does one of
accommodate
them
all those people
have
once
some
more.
sort of like?
Oh, I understand that, but I'm
awkward
just saying,
knick-knack
like,
collection?
just the realization that like cousins and like there's no one else other than us would be to receive it. I'm like, there's just literally our entire like unit of the castle's getting moved out. That is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, man. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna keep going about that business for now. I don't really have anything else to do at this moment. I have to prepare for a funeral.
Yeah,
so
do you
that's
go
like-
and you give them the order to burn the bodies?
No, I'm going to. Would you care to pay respects to your family before we have them cremated. And I'm like trying to broadcast to you with my eyes and my barely moving eyebrows. Will you please fucking investigate these
Of
bodies
course,
with me?
yeah,
Because
like,
I don't know
I'm
this
just gonna
shit.
yeah, she's just gonna very calmly like their corpses need investigated.
Sven, I need your attendance in this matter.
Sven he has a book. He opened it and there's a little
Like
You've got like
Gosh.
checklists for
I'm like-
this stuff.
cool. All right.
and there's nothing in it. You're just like awesome.
The pencil has no lead, but you look awfully prepared
Just
for
a bit.
this.
I just wanted to do that. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send a
All
servant
right.
to get Sven.
Okay.
So we all
Calling from
go
the
down
So
upstate.
to.
you meet down at the docks,
Yeah.
at the warehouse at the docks.
Gotcha.
Inside is like they take you to the room where the bodies are. They're all laid out.
I'm going to just to like get the staff to like back the.
Yeah, they leave. They leave you guys alone in the room.
All
Yeah,
right.
immediately like
I mean, you're way higher stationed than them.
and I am fucking up there now,
Yeah.
which everyone's gonna regret.
What's
I mean, you're number 3. She's number like 7. Like
know,
that's
yeah.
that's a lot of numbers for these like poor aided peasants.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying like everyone's gonna
Yeah.
everyone's gonna regret this.
what to investigate? Like there's not an investigation. Is it perception
Yeah,
or
you can roll perception.
vigilance? Okay, perception. So I'm gonna see if I can like notice anything on these bodies. What is that? Cunning? Okay. Well, it's not ideal. What am I rolling against? It's a dead body. It's
2
like
purple.
it can 2 purple.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's not
that's
the it's
standard
not the dead
difficulty.
body. It's more the what the other actions that were done.
Gotcha.
I'll give a blue die based on the fact that I've killed a lot of people. That
Well,
does not help.
you did your best. It's a complete straight up fucking wash.
Turtle wash. Oh yeah.
So,
Anybody-
yeah, just a fail.
Anybody else want to investigate?
I'm gonna investigate. I'm gonna tell Sven to investigate too, and be like,
Alright.
"Can you recognize the caliber of bullets here?"
Oh yeah. Were they shot?
Yeah, he said they did. I mean, they did use guns.
I didn't say that.
All right.
Or the Lord said that.
Sure
I just
done
said-
did,
I mean,
Broheim.
I was confirming that. Yep.
I mean, we're literally gonna look over like every inch of their body. Any
Without
Puncture.
touching it, except for Sven. Sven can touch him
Okay.
yeah.
Because he's a Westerner, so
Yeah.
he doesn't count.
Can I? This is a
why
stretch.
can't we touch him?
because
'Cause
it's
it's
against it's
very
taboo to touch dead bodies. That's why they
taboo.
have a whole cast of sub people to do it for them.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, if I have to fucking put like a cloth over my hand, I'm fucking investigating this.
No,
Like,
but that's why you have Sven with you.
Pride be damned.
To like he's your body.
Can
Yeah.
I roll range to do like a ballistics?
Sure.
thing? Figure out.
2 purple.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
Like I said, I want
2
to
purple and a black die because we
My
don't have like
ranged attack is
sweet science for this
surprisingly
yet.
good.
Are they gonna be in like funeral clothes? Or-
Right now they're
Holy
naked on the
shit,
tables.
We found
Okay,
something that
so
Sven's
they-
good at. I got 3 successes.
Okay.
Holy shit, dude.
So there's one body that clearly has been shot to death.
Yep.
And then you find no like bullet wounds in any of the other bodies.
Okay, so one person got shot. Who got shot?
The father got shot.
Father got shot. Everyone else died some other way.
Yes.
Are there any
Okay.
cuts anywhere? Like, there's no gash. Like, there's.
Yeah, they're cuts. Yeah.
But I meant like physical.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
Because you said they weren't. The family wasn't shot, so it leads me to believe.
Correct.
Like,
There are some puncture wounds, but there are also a lot of anomalous cuts and things that.
Okay, so some of the puncture wounds are obviously like from blades.
Well, only Sven knows that they're not gunshot wounds.
Alright.
They could plausibly, to your untrained eye, be gunshot wounds.
I will see.
Okay.
Can I roll melee to see if
Fascinating.
they're like blade cuts
Yeah,
of some kind?
he's got swords.
Yeah.
Alright.
Same roll.
Same skill. No fucking idea.
Yeah. You can't tell what kind of
rough,
cuts
dude.
Roll
these
2
are.
blanks.
Can we at least like
That's
look
fair. No, I
at them and
complete
be like,
fucking
can you
wash.
clearly tell that they're like deep somehow, or are they
These
just, like,
bodies
skimming?
are dead.
Oh, it's definitely combat.
Okay, but my point is like they're not. You could tell the difference between like a stab and a slice, I suppose. is
Yes.
the question.
There are some slices and some stabs.
All right, so they
But again, the
clearly-
puncture wounds, you can't tell if they're arrow, sword, gunshot, etc.
So you're not sure whether it's east or west.
I'm gonna no. What I'm gonna do is just simply be like, call the servants back in here. I want to know what was collected from the bodies. I want clothing. I want anything that was on them when they died. I want anything that was removed from the bodies, shrapnel, arrows, anything.
Yeah, okay, so they'll come in, they'll give you, it's like a trunk, like with all the clothing that
Okay.
they had on them at the time of death. But like
Alright.
that's the only thing in the trunk.
Okay. I'm just gonna look at them. Look at them and be like, were there any bullets or arrows, knives, or anything collected from the bodies?
Nope, everything that we collected is in the trunk.
All right.
So we got the one person who was shot to death, and then a bunch of not shot people.
Wait, who was shot to death?
The dad.
You
Oh, he was shot to Okay.
He was clearly fired upon.
Gotcha.
The rest of them, though, were not.
It's a big crowd. You would want the most important body to be a good, like, framing mechanism, I suppose.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make out the point, like, the other fucking wounds that we did that obviously aren't bullet wounds, they're clearly puncture wounds of other kind. Nothing was taken. They're like, they took nothing. No arrows were left behind, bullets, nothing.
Yeah, like all the personal effects are there too, even like valuables, stuff like that are in the trunk.
I mean, did my family? I mean, like I said, the men are really like secret ninjas. So did they have any like weapons on them at the time? Like, is that anything in the trunk?
None in the trunk.
Okay, so they basically went with no weapons at
Or the weapons were taken.
Check for the butthole kunai.
Oh man, the secret butthole kunai, which is also something that the yokai take. The kappa, he comes for your soul in your butthole. Also, if you got a butthole, yeah, it's coming out.
Yep.
The kunai's getting lost.
See,
Anyway,
all the
continue
like
on
the
your
box basically would
adventure.
contain what like normal people
They don't appreciate
of the
a
upper class
butthole
would have had at
kunai.
the time that they were walking around. So like money, jewelry, fancy stuff, no weapons.
Okay, so clearly this was obviously murder. They weren't even robbed. All personal effects are here.
How many times was her dad shot?
Once through the heart.
Through the heart. Okay.
And you could
Oh,
tell because of your
tragic.
roll, like it was very close range. Like there's powder burn on his chest.
Okay, so they shot one guy at point blank range, and then either didn't have any more bullets to kill the rest of the dudes, or decided not.
What is this? The beginning of Muppet Treasure Island?
Immediately out of ammunition.
Kind of sounds like they got their hands on one gun,
The enemy was Jack Sparrow.
killed the guy.
Oh shit, we got
He
there.
got
Yeah.
one gun, one bullet.
Is it just me, or does it seem like they used a bullet to kill one guy to make it look bad, and then stabbed everyone else?
No one else was shot.
I'm not trying to jump to conclusions here, because
But like, let's.
that's what we did last time. It didn't go well for
That's
us. So
funny
Well,
just a
hot.
possibility.
I'm gonna just kind of obviously look over the bodies and like look at the box of personal effects, and just whoever this was did not want them to be discovered as.
Would it be out of the question for
Intelligence.
someone to be running around with like a powder loading musket?
With like a what?
A powder loaded like a
front
Like a
load
musket?
yeah.
I mean that
Is that-
that would be kind of out of the
Is
ordinary.
that more or less likely than the
Nowadays, you have like the standard things like a cased cartridge, like early bolt action rifles.
So it's
or what
so
we're at.
for it to have.
So like
though,
they don't have like multiple shot capacity, but it's still like a bolt action. You put one bullet in. That's like what average
but-
technology is.
Yeah, but he's saying like if there's the gunpowder spray on the chest.
Oh no,
then-
that just comes from being shot close range with a gun.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with black powder versus not black powder.
All right. And from the caliber of the bullet, was it actually like a weird black powder one-shot weapon? Or
No, it looks like a normal bullet wound.
I think it's a real gun. Yeah. Okay. So in that case, I think one dude was assassinated, and then shit got out of hand. They had to stab a bunch of people. If I had to guess.
You
Yikes,
roll me
bud.
investigation
Why?
because you may or may not notice something. I guess 2 purple.
Where the fuck is investigate?
Well, perception. Sorry,
Like, I was like, there's no fucking.
perception.
Yeah, I went to
Okay.
go look for investigate as well.
All right. And you said how many?
5
Gets 2 purple.
minutes.
Super. Our rolls fucking
I'm
suck
helping you.
today.
Take a boost.
Please just be a
1 and
success.
3, baby. No.
All right. Well, again, perfect wash. What the fuck is happening?
Nailed it.
All right.
We are true neutral today.
Yeah.
The
So, yeah,
true
you
neutral
guys-
RPG
Keep rolling. Like,
podcast.
we're staying in this room as long as I want. So can I continue to investigate? Like, there's no reason I can't.
I'll give you 1 reroll
Just
because
because like,
it's
we're
not.
staying-
Yeah, exactly. It's not like the situation is changing at all.
Nailed it.
Super fucking okay. Yeah, 4 success. And
All right.
2
You're going through the
disadvantage.
clothing in the box, and you come across your aunt's like kimono, and her obi is tied like way wrong.
Really?
Yeah. Like clearly, whoever tied this has never tied an obi before.
I mean, would these servants like they for them to take them off, then have to retime in the thing?
Correct. A servant would know how to do it, right?
But I'm just saying, like the people that are handling the dead bodies, they obviously had to take her kimono off to get her naked.
Right, but like they did it without like undoing the obi,
They, I imagine they cut through some shit like an EMT.
or they could just slide it down her. You know, when you're not struggling.
Twoo.
Yeah.
But I mean, usually they're tight enough so they don't fall on their own. So I mean,
Right, but this one, like what remains of it that is tied is like way wrong.
all right, I'm gonna untie the obi.
There's nothing like inherently wrong with it. It was just tied by somebody who looks like they had no idea how to tie women's clothing.
That's weird.
Be
If she
new
was-
now.
If she was dressed by any servant at the castle.
Obviously, they would have done it correctly.
Yeah, and that would have also involved her. She got dressed at the castle, went to dinner for whatever reason that I can't figure out why she was even there for.
Again, they keep using the specific word entourage.
But that's what I mean. They haven't actually told me which part of my family counted in the entourage either.
Well, you think about it, like your aunt would never have been.
But that's my point.
Yeah.
So clearly, like, she would not have been there at the very least. But again, the reason what I was gonna say earlier was my family would not have traveled without secret weapons, and there's nothing here.
There's also,
Meaning
like-
their bodies are they were stripped, meaning whoever took their weapons would clearly like not want them to be recognized as being Secret Service.
Also, like a bunch of your family, like should not have been in the mix with the others on like official business
Right.
at all.
I mean,
Did they
we're
say
all
how
ninjas,
many
we're ninja families.
members of your?
Where is he?
He's on the table. Come here, we're gonna say hi. And he's like, I don't.
Did they say how many members?
There's like like
this
8.
entourage and
Oh no, how many members were part of the entourage? No, they never
Yes.
said.
He's a nice kitty. You can touch him.
Is it too late? Well, I suppose Faith would have.
You
to
didn't
ask
go
that.
with them to the.
Do we want to call it on this mysterious mystery?
Yes.
All right, so next week we can discover how many of the actual family members.
Yep.
were there.
3 XP for everybody.